Welcome back to our third lesson of Google Sheets. In this lesson, we are going to learn about the language settings and also about the function which is called detect language, which we can use in Google Sheets and also Microsoft Excel. So without any further ado, let's just jump into the lesson of Google Sheets language. As you can see that I have opened up Google spreadsheet, or you can see that here in my spreadsheet, I have two words, more and bonheur, okay, or whatever that is called. So the first thing we're going to learn about is the language setting, because that is one of the most important settings you have to fix up before you start working on Google Sheets. Because if you can't understand the language, you will not be able to work on Google Sheets, right? So the first thing what we're going to do is going to be going off on settings, and then from settings, we're going to fix it up. And how are you going to find that, and where are you going to find that? So if you've seen our previous lesson about the menu or about the tools, first off, you have to click on file and then go off the settings so that we can find out how we can change our language. So you can see that in our general, we have United Kingdom, and in our calculation, we have on, change, and off. But first thing, what we need is the language, right? So first off, select on this display language, which is United States or United Kingdom of English. But if you want to add another language, whichever one you prefer, just click on add another language, and you can put up whichever language you want to use, and basically you can work on with it. Let's say I'm Japanese. So what I have to do is type in Japanese. You can see that I also have Japanese right now. I'm going to click on save, and then you'll be able to add another language so that you can type in Japanese or use or work up with Japanese however you want to. But you can see the display language is this, but if you want to change that display language too, you can also change it up according to your desire. Let's say here I'm going to do is use an Espanol, and I'm going to do is, let's say, choose an option whichever one you want. Let's say I'm going to use Colombia and click on save, and now everything will turn into Espanol and also Colombia. Now what we're going to do is going to be changing it back to English. Let's say I'm going to type in English. Now click on English and use whichever type of English you want. Let's say I'm going to suggest you to use United States or United Kingdom, whichever one you prefer. So I most of the time prefer using United Kingdom. So I'm going to do is click on this, and you will basically see it will revert back to United Kingdom English again. And now, as English is one of the most important medium of, or one of the most useful medium of language, so you can use English whenever you want, and if you want to change it, that's also like totally up to you. What I'm going to do is cut this off. Now the next thing we're going to learn about is the language function. Now the language function is called detect language, and how are you going to do that? Let's say I have two of them over here. Both are not English, right? So if you want to find out what language it is, what you're going to do is type in equal and then type in detect language, and then select the text if you want to. You can close the parentheses and hit on enter, and it will take a bit of a time, and then it tells you that it is French. Okay, FR is French. Now I'm going to do the next one too, and you can also type in whatever text you want to do it. Let's say I'm going to type in equal detect language. I'm going to use this one too. I'm going to close off the parentheses and hit on enter, and this one is also French. You can also type in whichever word or whichever language word it is, and it will give you the exact language or what language it is in Google Sheets. So now you know how you will be able to work with Google Sheets and how you are going to fix up the language in Google Sheets, and also work with the function of detect language, which is like very important in a couple of cases. So hope you learned everything in this lesson and understood. So let's move on to our next lesson, where we are going to learn about the common formulas in Google Sheets.